October 1st, 2025. Daily Bread. Passage. 2 Chronicles chapter 6 verse 12 to 21. Key verse. Verse 21. Title: Solomon's Prayer of Dedication. Then Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord in the presence of all the assembly of Israel and spread out his hands. Solomon had made a bronze platform 5 cubits long, 5 cubits wide, and 3 cubits high, and had set it in the court, and he stood on it. Then he knelt on his knees in the presence of all the assembly of Israel, and spread out his hands toward heaven, and said, O Lord God of Israel, there is no God like you, in heaven or on earth, keeping covenant and showing steadfast love to your servants who walk before you with all their heart, who have kept with your servant David my father what you declared to him. You spoke with your mouth, and with your hand have fulfilled it this day. Now therefore, O Lord God of Israel, keep for your servant David my father what you have promised him, saying, You shall not lack a man to sit before me on the throne of Israel, if only your sons pay close attention to their way, to walk in my law as you have walked before me. Now therefore, O Lord God of Israel, let your word be confirmed, which you have spoken to your servant David. But will God indeed dwell with man on the earth? Behold, heaven and the highest heaven cannot contain you, how much less this house that I have built? Yet have regard to the prayer of your servant and to his plea, O Lord my God, listening to the cry and to the prayer that your servant prays before you. That your eyes may be open day and night toward this house, the place where you have promised to set your name, that you may listen to the prayer that your servant offers toward this place. And listen to the pleas of your servant and of your people Israel, when they pray toward this place. And listen from heaven your dwelling place, and when you hear, forgive. Daily Bread Message. Solomon made petitions to the Lord as he dedicated the temple. First, he asked the Lord to keep his promise to David and bless his house from generation to generation. He did not doubt God's promise but made a bold petition based on his confidence that he had carefully followed God's instructions. The promise of God was also an assurance to him that God would be faithful and bless him, as he was faithful in keeping the instructions. Second, he asked the Lord to hear their cry and prayer with mercy as they prayed toward the temple. Solomon understood that God would show mercy to them as they turned to him for salvation. This petition prompted his people to turn to God in times of trouble, rather than looking for salvation elsewhere. The house of God would be the place the people would pray toward, with an earnestness to receive the reward from heaven, the forgiveness of their sins. It was amazing grace that the people of Israel had access to God, and Solomon prayed for his people to continue living in such a state of grace. Prayer. Father, thank you for the grace that enables us to come to you in prayer. I examine my heart before you and ask for your mercy and forgiveness today. One word. God hears and forgives.